The calendar says it's fall, but the weather says otherwise. It's been more summer-like the last few days, and it's going to continue right on through the weekend. Right now in Seneca, Missouri, at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, bright blue skies and lots of sunshine. That's going to allow temperatures to rise into the upper 80s and lower 90s. Right now in Joplin, we're looking at fair skies, 85 degrees with a southwest wind at 10. Feels like 86 because the dew point's at 64, giving us about half saturated at 49% and the visibility at 10 miles. Radar's all clear, and we're not expecting any precipitation anywhere in the area for the next several days. And we've been dealing with a lot of rain last week, which helped on the drought situation. You can see some improvement in southwestern Missouri and northwestern Arkansas, but the drought still holds on pretty tightly for Chautauqua, Elk, and parts of Montgomery counties. Unfortunately, no rainfall is expected for the next 36 hours to help with the drought situation. Instead, we're going to see very warm temperatures, and we're already there. We're seeing readings generally in the low to mid 80s right now. 84 in Parsons, 84 in Iola, 88 already in Sedan. They're definitely going to get into the 90s today out towards the west. Meanwhile, it's a little bit cooler over in Monette and Cassville, both at 82 degrees. Dew points are generally in the 50s right now, so we have lots of dry air in place. But as we go through the weekend, the dew points are going to increase just a little bit as we have south winds. And when you add the dew point and the temperature together, you're going to start to feel like it's in the 90s for a large part of southeastern Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma. And then as we go into Saturday, pretty lot of heat across the area in southeastern Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma, with feeling like in the lower 90s across the area. And it's mainly because this ridge of high pressure is going to be building in. It's an omega block, which looks like the Greek letter omega, with a trough on the west coast and a trough on the east coast. And by the time we move into Tuesday, this storm system out to the west will start to dig across the southern Rockies and then pull out into the plains on Wednesday. That's when the chances of rain starts to increase. But until then, it's going to be pretty hot and dry. In fact, this afternoon, we're going to see highs in the upper 80s and lower 90s, especially out towards the west. And then tonight, we're going to see mostly fair skies with south winds continuing and lows generally in the 60s. And then as we head towards tomorrow afternoon, a few clouds passing by, but it's going to be mainly hot with highs in the upper 80s and lower 90s, as records this time of year are generally in the lower 90s. They're going to be close to that out towards the west in Eureka with 94. And then as we go into Saturday morning, we're going to see lows generally in the mid to upper 60s with increasing southwest winds, making it feel pretty toasty out there, especially on Saturday afternoon with a high of 90. We're going to be looking at hot conditions. And then as we go into Sunday, still very warm, 88. And then Monday and Tuesday, slightly cooler with increasing clouds, but still very warm. And then finally, some thunderstorms rolling in here on Wednesday afternoon and evening with a high of 79. Then we start getting back closer to normal on Thursday with a high of 78. And very nice and pleasant weather next weekend with highs only in the mid 70s and lows in the 50s. And beyond that, we're looking at a real cold snap coming up, but we have plenty of time to worry about that. Stick around because we're going to be back with more news and weather. Let's go back to Amber.